गुड मॉर्निंग and welcome to Gana Short में आप सबका स्वागत है. Today we're going to talk of the old normal in Pakistan. After Opsindur, everyone talks of the new normal. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, they've gone back to the old normal. Right? That's where it is. And we have to understand this old normal. What is this old normal all about? And I put it in cartoons in my thumbnail. Let me show it fully. The old normal is this in the center. Terror, which comes, their entire terror factory is part of their army. Whichever way you call it, that terror factory is the sword arm of the Pakistan army. The silent sword arm, which is free to cross all borders and create mayhem and terror. And terror is their tool. It's just not state-sponsored terror. It is organized. Okay, it's an organized terror. Right. And that is backed by information, a propaganda machinery, which is fully in place with the help of China. And then, of course, the ability to declare a victory where none exists. And this has been their thing. When they can't do it immediately, they do it later. For example, these days you see a lot of videos claiming that Kargil was a Pakistani victory. Same, here it is even faster. Balakot was their victory. Everything is their victory because they have lost nothing. And this is something which we have to understand in Pakistan. And we have to understand deeply. And you have to look at Pakistan army afresh because the centerpiece of whatever you want to do with Pakistan is the army. That is why I'm going to put across to you certain old ideas of mine. Old normal, so old ideas. Go back to the drawing board and relook at it from a different viewpoint. You might have established new normals, but that fellow is on the old normal. So what is this old normal all about? Right? First, the paradox of the Pakistan army. This came out in Rusi in September 23. And I'm going to just reiterate it. And just read it out. Just think. He says there's a lot wrong about Pakistan army. It interferes in politics too much. In fact, it dominates the politics. It makes bad foreign policy choices. It blocks peace feelers with India. It accounts for too much of GDP. It is too deeply entrenched in the economy. Its human rights record is mixed. In fact, it's horrible. However, it is now the main institution holding Pakistan together. In a country with nuclear weapons, survival of a disciplined Pakistan army matters to all of us. This conveys many things. The Pakistani people will always look to the army, despite everything else. People outside, this fellow is a Britisher. And he says, survival of a disciplined Pakistan army matters to all of us. They are worried. So the West will not give up on Pakistan army. This is the old normal. Has it changed? Opsindur tells us it has not changed. When they were about to be decimated, all these fellows ran to the West, and the West, or rather the Trump administration, intervened. There's nothing going to change. Nothing has changed. There's no new normal. It's the old normal. Second, this is the view of Stephen Cohen, and this is important to understand. Again, nothing has changed in this. There are armies which guard their nation's borders. There are armies which are concerned with protecting their own position in society. And there are armies which defend a cause or an idea. The Pakistan army does all three. It's doing that all three. In the view of the nation, it has guarded its nation's borders and Opsindur. As a result of this, the position of the army has consolidated within Pakistan. And the ideology of Pakistan has been kept alive in this particular picture. The idea, it is the guarantor of the national ideology or the propagator of national ideology. It's all there. So what's changed? Nothing. I'm reiterating something old, but that's how it is. We have to understand this very deeply when we say, what do you do with Pakistan? Over a period of time, the state of Pakistan is the center of governance. It governs, good, bad, or ugly. That's what the government, elected or the selected or the installed government, does. The center of the power has always been the army, no doubt. But progressively, the army has taken over the state, the armed forces, the NSAs, the Fauji, as- earlier ISPR, I mean the ISI chief. Many functions within the government are now by retired armed forces people. They're an extension. So the state is now taken over by the armed forces. They just have these puppets, political puppets at the top. Wars have destroyed the state. Not from now, right from 47. But over a period of time, wars have strengthened the armed forces. Every time there's been a defeat, political, in fact, every time there's been a defeat, the army has come back stronger. Is it any different now? No. As a result, the center of power has not been defeated. In fact, it has been strengthened with every military action. And this is something which we have to understand. Even now, after Opsindur, it has re-established the army. It has now ensured extension of Asim Munir's tenure. Just see the plan with Asim Munir. He was to come up for some kind of a review. He had 2 years to go, but there had to be a certification from the parliament that there was required to be an extension. Only then, he could continue the balance 2 years. So what does he do? He talks to the overseas NRIs, gives a talk, hard state, jugular vein, Kashmir, and we are two different cultures, India and Pakistan. That talk he gives, he flames up everything. Then Pahalgam is carried out. It invites Indian response. Doesn't matter Pakistan has got hammered or not. He's engineered victory on, in information space and told everyone in Pakistan victory. So now he's a hero. There are, social media saying, Shahbaz Sharif saying, हमें इनके ऊपर फकर है, showing Asim Munir. So he's got his 2 years extension, or rather extension. It will be might be for life. That's a different story. He's there. Okay, and then the Shahbaz Sharif government itself has got an extension. It was on its last legs. There was dissent. Economically, they were defunct. Their crops were going down. The military was almost hated in the Pakistan society. There were problems in Baluchistan, KPK, everything. But what do you see now? Suddenly, everything is back centered on the army. That is the important point. So to think that we're going to have an easy thing, that to gloat over what we have done to the Pakistan army is being foolish. Right? We need to see the long haul. What does it mean? Yesterday we spoke about information with Sri IRG. But today I'm going to talk of something slightly different. It's a 360-degree approach. Okay, so this is the thing. And the center of power can only be destroyed politically. It can't be destroyed physically. Whatever you do through the armed forces, the opposite will happen. A military defeat of Pakistan army is a political victory of the Pakistan army. And that is what has happened now. Please understand this. Okay. Now, what are the political options available to you? Because you have to deal with this problem hereafter politically, not militarily. Okay, it's political. And the political options with us are the Indus Water Treaty, that actualizing it, we'll talk of it. And then, of course, you can get Imran Khan back to power somehow, whatever. If Imran Khan comes back to power, he'll can the army. That's for sure. And that is why the army has kept him in jail. And the third, of course, if Pakistan breaks up without your help, with or without your help, which the conditions have not gone. Mind you, in fact, the conditions for in Baluchistan and in KPK have only worsened. And even POK, my way of looking at it is ripe. We'll talk of this. I'll just talk of this a little. Why? Okay. What is the outlook of the Pakistan Armed Forces? And this has come up in social media. Mind you, all this is not something which I've reinvented. This is all my old story. I'm putting the same thing back, and it's so true even now. It's the old normal. Hindus are not good fighters. Kashmir must be won. They'll gamble for victory. They gambled this time also. The big gamble was the Pahalgam attack. Okay. And we need to understand Pakistan army has an exaggerated opinion of itself, and it is splashing it all over the world, amplified by Chinese loud mouths or loudspeakers. And it is responsible for the ideological frontiers of the nation, which I've explained to you in detail. What is their obsession? Has it changed? It remains that struggle for India is existential. Now they'll amplify what the Asim Munir said. You think India with its 1.5 million armed force can intimidate us? We know how to defend it. He'll prove it to the people. He'll prove it to the Western world. He'll prove it to China with the help of Chinese and their own. Not he doesn't have to prove it to China. China will prove it. China will help him prove this. So that existential threat will always be played up. It doesn't matter whether they lose. Not winning repeatedly is not same as the losing. It doesn't matter whether they win or not. They shouldn't lose. That's what they're portraying now. Understand this. They will take a calculated risk rather than lose by doing nothing. And they've done that. They've taken that calculated risk in this whole story. And as far as they are concerned, it's not worth presiding over a state which gives concession to India. Hence, there'll be no concessions to India. Let's be very clear about this. And victory is the ability to continue fighting. Has any of this changed? Incidentally, this obsession is not what I have brought out. And this is something from the Pakistani writers have culled out and put it back. Those writers who have critiqued the 65 war, the 71 war, or the Kargil war and thereafter. So the old normal still exists. They're masters at hybrid war fighting. Okay, they control the state. They use uninhibited use of terror as the norm, whether it's jihad, ideology. Now, the way I look at it, the direct thing to Kashmir will recede till things are good. But they'll come through third countries, maybe Nepal, maybe Bangladesh, maybe internal in India. And there are enough people in India who will fall prey to them, or who are already in their, their sleeping agents here. That is the danger. Will conventional threat and nuclear saber rattling continue? For some time it will be cold, but it will start. Just give a year, it will restart. Okay, because the military thing is the easiest for them to talk of. It's a political thing which they can't, the economic thing which they can't handle. But the moment they start talking military, and hyphenate this military with the threat from India, they remain in power. The economics go to the background. It doesn't matter whether Pakistan is a nation which is about to collapse, go into default and all. It doesn't matter. Those are all irrelevant things. Remember that. And then, of course, there is this cognitive war and narrative building which is going on. That was the first cartoon I made. They have perfected this technique. The new normal or the old normal, which has now come to focus, it's come to focus very deeply, is their alliance with China and Turkey for technology and for arms. Mind you, this is a very strong support which you have to live with. We knew that earlier, but today it is even more. Then there's toxic narratives, and these are gaining traction day by day. This is all over TikTok. Yesterday I discussed this in P Gurus with Shri Iyer and General Doshansing. India is an aggressor. Why Indians don't shower? India is a dirty, unsafe country. India lost the war to Pakistan. Hindus are weak and uncivilized. Dirty Hindus. These are the narratives which are coming. How do you counter this? The government can't counter it. I think the people have to come and start countering it on TikTok, especially those who have access to TikTok, whether it's in India, abroad, wherever, however. But of course, I don't agree with the idea that we should get TikTok in India and then that's useless for many other reasons that I can discuss. China-Pakistan collusion will be the order of the day. Again, this is a old normal, but it will be there. If anything, this will go up. The chatter in China is that, look, Pakistan, which was no more a foil for India before this, has now become a military foil for India. They are not looking at Pakistan being an economic foil. They know it. Pakistan cannot. But militarily, they feel that Pakistan will hold India down. This is a Chinese view. How do you get out of this? You have bottled Pakistan in a different manner today. The technology infusion will be there. They will be provided all the latest technology. Narrative and public opinion influencing will be there. Financial support to Pakistan will come. But how much will come is something to be seen because China has its own problems. And China will give international backstop to Pakistan in UN and wherever, WHO, IMF. Notwithstanding the fact that IMF has placed certain restrictions on the loan which it has dispersed. But will it stop Pakistan from fudging? It won't. So these are the realities which we have to live with. It's just an old normal, old wine in a new bottle. That's it. What is their up strategy? The way I look at it from going ahead now, the Pakistan. Why am I doing all this? You have to understand what's coming from Pakistan. Remember, he is our enemy. We have to first, in any appreciation, it's the enemy which we have to see first. Okay. And what does that say? Avoid war, but continue conflict. War avoidance is paramount. But the conflict will continue to tie India down. Right? Because intervention in India, in some manner, will keep the conflict going free of cost. Low level intervention. Already you have seen 2-3 encounters taking place in Kashmir. Very low level, something which you can't respond across the border. They'll avoid high fly, but the pinpricks will continue. They will combine conventional, nuclear, and proxy capacity. That's their fundamental. This can't change. This won't change, despite the fact that you said no more nuclear blackmail. Will it change? We'll have to see how this story changes. Their story changes. It will change. Matter of time. Okay. Remember, they will force India to live with terrorism. The thresholds of terrorism might not be high, but low. It will make you. And the direction from where terrorism is coming will be different. That's why I said below thresholds of retaliation. Pakistan might be poor, the army is rich. So they are well trained and well equipped. It doesn't matter what Pakistan's economy is. Pakistan army will always be well trained and well equipped. And they will maximize cognitive warfare, which is happening. Some parts of this, in fact, every part of the strategy is now operational. Some parts might be at a lower key, but many parts are at a high pitch already. How do we handle it? I've always spoken of the hammer and anvil concept. What is this hammer and anvil concept? In any kind of warfare, in any mixed warfare, you put an anvil, which is your defenses. Okay? And then you attract the enemy towards these defenses. And then you hit him from behind with a hammer, which are mobile forces or things like that. This is a typical way which the army mind thinks and functions. But I have adapted it in the current context. You have to convert it from the military to a political military construct or a geopolitical military construct. And that's what I'm going to show you now. What does that do? Okay, in phase one of Opsindur, what did you do? You first thing which you did was you held the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance. You instituted diplomatic measures. You cancelled many things, trade, lot, visas, everything. That was the anvil. That was the anvil. Pakistan got attracted to it, and it gave retaliatory visas, overflights, cancellation, this, that, a few, which whatever it could do. And when this was happening and this was at its peak, you hit them to Opsindur. Now Opsindur is over. Opsindur is over. But I mean the kinetic part, but it is still on. So being on, what does it do? It does this. Now the hammer is turned into the anvil and the anvil is turned into the hammer. The Indian defenses, the way they've arrayed, the way things are there, is now the anvil. And you have to hit with different multiple hammers. These are this WT, CPC. This is the phase two. We are starting phase two now. Whether it's IWT, Indus Water Treaty, or CPC, or AFPAC, or Baluch, or you target the people and the politics. Very important hammer. Target them. Right? Diplomacy, info operations, economy. This is the long haul. Phase two will be the long haul, but you have to do it with a plan. You don't do it with a plan, you're in difficult times. What shall I say? Difficult times. You can't. India will continue to grow, but point is you'll not achieve your objectives. This is what I've shown. See this cartoon. Have a look at it close. Indus Water Treaty. Don't give him water for anything, even for what he's trying to do. Right? So there are ways to do it. I'm sure we will get around to that. Then, of course, this is one tweet which I took day before yesterday of what's happening in Baluchistan. Baluchistan, there's a media blackout. What's happening in Baluchistan, we don't know, except through some tweets and social media posts. But every day there is an attack going on. Some explosion, some ambush. Things are not normal in Baluchistan. They are very bad. Can you amplify it? That's the point. Can you do something about it? Very important. Mind you, it's a difficult task because there are international interests in Baluchistan, especially in Rikodik. Their copper mines and the gold mines, where Barrick has invested. And that investment was done under the overwatch of Asim Munir. I put a video out about Baluchistan about a couple of weeks back, right? So there's some gold which has been struck out there. So there are international, and then of course there is in Baluchistan Chinese presence also. So all these things have to be taken into account, but Baluchistan is ripe for whatever is to happen. And it will keep Pakistan army fixed there, politically and physically. Then trade is the biggest danda you have. Because most of things in Pakistan go from India through Dubai. We know that. How can you stop that is the issue. It's not what you buy from them. There are two things you can do. Either you just increase the cost of things going into Pakistan by a factor of 5 or 10. Right? Then things will, or it will become this thing. Other way is you stop. Stopping will be difficult, but increasing price will be easy. So you have to do that. Lot of non-kinetic options. We had discussed this earlier. YouTubers, we have banned pharma exports. We have banned. Very important. Overflights, we have stopped. Not only them, we even to Pakistanis. There is a visa ban. There are wheat problems in Pakistan. There's a issue of culture ban which you have to put in Bollywood. We have to cleanse Bollywood. Let's not have any doubts. Of course, information next handles, all that. Ships we have to ban. Overflights we have banned. All these we have done, but you have to stay the distance. And when you stay the distance, the internal pressures in Pakistan will slowly start building. Now they are in the first flush of an imagined victory. Let that heat come down. Cold realities will settle. And this is what phase 2 of Opsindur will be. The long haul. Your diplomacy. We've already reached out to Afghanistan. Strengthen that. Our defense minister has spoken that, look, we need to go to IAEA, International Atomic Energy Association, and discuss with them why should Pakistan have nuclear weapons. Can we put them under international watch? You have to work out issues with Russia and USA. Very important. We have not started it as yet, but we have to do it. But we'll discuss about it as we go along. We are sending a delegation to all countries to explain our position. To be very honest and brutal about it, we should have done this before hand. We're doing it as an afterthought. But even then, it's good. And we have this clout with Saudi Arabia, UAE, many Gulf Cooperation Council countries. They are looking at investment. They're not going to go and invest in Pakistan. They want investment here. So use this to squeeze Pakistan. And remember, they will not give up on Pakistan in a hurry. This reality also is there. So this is going to be a long haul. Going to be a long haul. Then, of course, this is what has come out in the press, that when Raksha Mantri went to Bhuj, he appealed to the IMF not to give them, money. Something has come out of it. So you'll see the results coming out slowly. It's not going to be in a hurry. Or international diplomacy will take time. It has to beat the thing. And of course, again, once the dust settles, realities of their military weaknesses and Chinese losses are coming out slowly. Wait for it to happen. It doesn't matter how much I'll put out something about some truths of this whole thing, and we'll see where it goes. Then there's this article in Guancha which I found. It says, a few days of air combat exposed the common dilemma between India and Pakistan. If you go through this entire thing, which is in Mandarin, What he says is, can both these countries last more than 10-15 days? Interesting question, because it questions the staying power of India and Pakistan. I'll put it this way. In doing so, this Chinese chap has exposed that Pakistan has confirmed, not exposed, confirmed that Pakistan has limited staying power. And this is something we need to exploit. Commit him to expenditure, defense expenditure. That means you have to keep the LOC hot. No ceasefire on the LOC. And then you will see his staying power reducing. The moment he starts reducing his staying power, then he'll start shaking. It'll have a political effect. Okay, we must do counter information or counter narrative actions like blocking handles, even Chinese. I mean, very simple. When our public handles can't be exposed to Chinese population, why should we allow them here in India? Very simple. Global Times, Xinhua, all that. Block them. Just block them. On a reciprocal basis. Start this new thing. You don't allow our information to enter your people, we will block yours. Is this something which is impossible? We must start. Right? Do it diplomatically. Do it any way you want, but start the process. Someone has to do it. And then, of course, this multi-party delegation is going. They should go with clear ideas and do what they have to do. This is something we have to rethink, information and public opinion shaping. And I put it across to the highest levels possible through my reach. We have to work out things in great detail. I think there's a new thing which you have to start, political action. I keep saying political action. Now, ask politically, convey to Pakistan to vacate Pakistan, POK. Already the Prime Minister has said, vacate Pakistan. Talk will be on regaining POK. He said talk will be on that. So start that talk. Tell Pakistan, please vacate. It's not yours. Get out. No more talks on anything. Just get out. Simultaneously tell China, please get out of Shaksgam Valley. It is not yours. What you have got from what you have got from Pakistan is illegal. Right. And so vacate it. Okay. I must tell you, you might be hearing some noises from the street. The hawkers and things like that. That's India. Have a taste of India through this channel. Okay. Daily, early morning India. People are selling tomatoes and things like that. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, that's day-to-day life. So we asked China to vacate the Shaksgam Valley. Start the process. They might say no, but get that into focus. We should ensure China does not carry out any investment in POK. Tell them. No further. Start that. Start the political process, because this political process shakes China and Pakistan more than anything else. This is it. There's a nice cartoon I saw on Opsindur. How the power of Opsindur to stop terror. I thought I'll share it with all of you. And finally, before I take on a few questions, it is this. Yesterday, an LAT commander, Namani, he's been killed by an unidentified gunman in Sindh. This is also a line of operation. Right. I've done for the day. I put it across, a very simple thing. A few questions I'll take, and I might not take all because it's already, I have to get going somewhere. Some I'll just scan through. I must also thank those of you who are from P Gurus who are attending this morning discourse, and of course Gunner Shot. I would request all of you to subscribe to both channels, because the way I look at it, both channels are the same as far as I'm concerned. Right? And we're not going to be different. The ideas are the same, so that you get, but the viewpoints might be different. What Pegurus carries and what I carry, what I profess. Um, right, and mine is a, a narrow focus, because I don't want to get involved with social issues and other things, or politics. That's not my cup of tea. But definitely geopolitics, we are in the same story, right? So I thought I'll tell you, subscribe to Ganashot, subscribe to P Gurus, join us as members, like these videos. I'll be grateful if you do so. Okay, right. How to deal with Turkey in the short and long term? Why are we not exploiting their fault lines yet? Yes, we start. See, let me also put it, handling Turkey is not going to be easy, because Turkey is far away from us. We don't have any direct issues between us except trade and positions in the thing, international arena. Trade things are already there. We are reducing import from Turkey. Some deals with airport Celebi has been scrapped. Indigo has a tie-up with Corendon, which is a Turkish carrier. We'll see where that goes. And so many things are happening. Tourism, all this will hurt, but it doesn't hurt Turkey so much. It doesn't. And you don't have a direct line with Turkey. And Turkey is playing itself a double game with NATO. It's a NATO member, but is against NATO. And NATO itself has not been able to do anything against it. So there's very little you can do against Turkey. With China, you have a common border and common interests, right? You can do a lot. I will have to really scratch our head to see how to come against Turkey. And the way to come against Turkey is, what is Turkey's core interest? To be a great power in the Middle East. How do you defeat that? The Middle East triangle is Turkey, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. So you go to Iran and Saudi Arabia against Turkey. So you have to play the bigger game. It's not going to be easy. Okay. Thanks a lot, Baluch Independence. Yeah, great. Yeah. Morning sessions are great. Thank you, sir. I'll be happy if more of you attend this. An economic military link up with Greece may be useful. I agree with you. Could you elaborate on Saudi Pak nexus from the nuclear angle? It's a common belief that Pak is merely a custodian weapons from them, and how does Qatar use Pak against us? Qatar is a multiple player. It's the Switzerland of this area. It has its hands in everyone's pockets, and everyone depends on it. What Switzerland was to the world in Second World War, Qatar is today that, and it has got surplus cash. The very difficult thing, you have to handle it differently. What Qatar does and what it doesn't do is so difficult to, right? Okay, can we generate honeypots for domestic sleepers? Yeah, sure. Why not? You can do anything. Okay, how can we make Pakistan financially weak other than IWT, rupee demonetization and drug bust? Just IWT is enough. You'll make them into paupers. You can't do everything. Right? This is a great step. We can do a lot in this. Okay. Monos fun. After a long time, I'm seeing a question. If we press attacks against nuclear sites, won't it force them to disperse their nukes? Won't such dispersal worry West over potential jihadi capture of nukes? Why not use it to end? Yeah, it's not going to be. Yeah, it's going to happen. All this, what are you going to say, right? The West also should realize what they're supporting. I'm sure they do. Sanity will come about. This today, we are still in the first flush of the heat of kinetic action. So things will change. We have to be patient. Yeah. A Pakistani general exists for embezzling money. Uniform is only. Yeah, I agree with you completely. Right. Your analysis is spot on, but the joker in the pack is Trump. He has the power to disrupt or derail our plan. Must build, safeguard, and insulate Bharat from US effect. I agree with you here also. Yeah. marriages with between Indian and Bangladeshi and Pakistani should be banned. You can't ban it, but you can make it difficult. You can make it almost impossible, right? And your videos being watched by Rogue Nation, you are giving them all ideas. So what if they should know what we are capable of? And this is not anything new. I'm just reiterating. They should know what they are. Let them start taking action. I know my videos are being watched in Pakistan. I know my videos are being watched in China, and they feature me in their whatever. It's okay. Let them know what India thinks, and let them know that India is very offensive. It can be offensive. You should convey something to them. Otherwise, the better रहेंगे यार सर पे ढक्कन रख के. Yeah, can we really say Opsindur is over? The kinetic part, as a rogue nation, can again try to nest us as it has proved us wrong. And at this point of time, the chances of kinetic action reviving are low. That's what I can say. Anything can happen, but you have to now largely go into the non-kinetic part. Yeah, government has started cancelling some contracts with Turkey to retaliate for Turkey's support to Pak. How can Bharat retaliate against China? There are a lot. There are a lot. Okay, I'll talk about it when I talk about China. Just wait. Yeah, listening to you over some time led me to respect you as an in-depth analyst of wisdom, and your deciphering of events is exceptional. Thanks a lot for the view, but this is something which I must tell everyone as part of my advertisement, probably. That what you get on Gunner Shot is analysis, deep analysis. It's not fake. Nothing is on fake information. Because people who come and if they talk fake, they'll come only once. Second time, they'll not come on my channel. That's why many people ask me, get this chap, get that guy. I know that guy is speaking fake stuff. He doesn't know. He doesn't have depth of knowledge. So there's no way of getting any chap. And anyone who's got depth of knowledge, generally I know them and I call them over. Yeah. General Shankar, it is live. Yeah, it is live. There's no doubt. Uh, yeah. Okay. I see not many. Okay. Not many other things. Not many other questions. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Now we have seen reports of China building a base in Lal Manihar Hat. We'll discuss it. Day after tomorrow, I might talk about Bangladesh. We need to talk of Bangladesh. I'll come back to you. Ask this question, right? Uh, what is your opinion of what should be the economic strategy for India? Arun, that's a different topic. I will do that separately. All what you are asking, many of these are independent, full-fledged topics. I'll talk about it separately. Right? Okay. Uh, right. At the end, I'd like to end here with the thing that thanks a lot for watching in the morning. I'll come up with small things. Some might be repetitive in nature, but it's important. Also, I'm putting out a video which I did earlier in February. It's our about the Pralay missile system and our capability. I'm putting it out by maybe in the evening or tomorrow. I'll put it out. It's an old one. It's recycled, but have a look at it. I'm recycling some of my old videos purposefully on purpose. It gives you the depth of India. They're already there on my website. If I tell you to go and have a look at the website, you'll not see it, or my YouTube channel, you'll not see it. But now I'm going to put it out. I'm editing it, making it smaller, and putting it out so that you have an overview of what India's capabilities are. You've seen some of the capabilities in Opsindur, but there are more. That is why I'm going to see, and I'm putting it out. I'll put it out regularly. It might be about 10, 15 videos. Don't think it is just to repeat for the sake of repeating. I'm repeating it with a lot of thought. Okay. And yeah, this is thing. What will be the impact on where quad post Opsindur? Discuss it separately. No problems. I understand my questions would be uncomfortable. Nothing is uncomfortable from Pakistan. Pakistan will be uncomfortable from us. Don't worry. I have no problems with it. Right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. We'll come back to you tomorrow. And maybe, I mean, of course, today evening at 8 o'clock, I'll come back at normal time with General Hari Mohan. And till then, have a great day, morning, and Jai Hind to all of you.